minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. Minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, nine, eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
When we joined the Covenant, we took an oath.
According to our station, all without exception.
On the blood of our fathers, on the blood of our sons, we swore to uphold the Covenant.
Even to our dying breath.
Those who would break this oath are heretics, worthy of neither pity nor mercy. Even now, they use our Lord's creations to broadcast their lies.
We shall grind them into dust.
And continue our march to glorious salvation.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Can I have your attention, please? Tonight, we have for you entertainment of the most marvelous of sorts. That's right, back from the dungeon, the King's Jester will give you the performance of a lifetime. It's true. So, without further ado, everyone, welcome to the show.
Around me that I can't see, you know, laying down on my knees, but they won't leave. My whole demons life around me that I can't see, people always thought on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, laying down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, laying down on my knees, but they won't leave. I'm smart as they come, just be careful what you're trying to pull. Being sneaky, trying to out-treat me, you must think I'm a fool. I'm the grandmaster, the rocket scientist from Lancaster, dumping humongous buckets of flavor on you bland bastards. I eat rappers and crap souls, the ghost of the collapsed old shack where the black pumpkin patch grows. I scratched holes in the coffin that they latch closed, dug up through the ground, broke the surface and my ass rose. Now I stand with the staff in my hand, a broken man looking out over the land from which I was banned. But I return in disguise to blend amongst the people, menacing, seeking vengeance against any presumptive evil demon spawn. Sneak in your room at the gleam of dawn, wake you up, stab you in the face before you even yawn. And this is how I envisioned it all along. Just give me the heads of those who imprison me, I'll be gone. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. I used to entertain people in such innocent ways. Now I juggle 4-foot ninja blades and pillars grenades, drinking kerosene and breathing flames. I sneeze at people and casually say excuse me while they scream in pain. You get indicted for corporate stock extortions, I get indicted for unlawfully breathing life into rotten corpses. In cemeteries in the blackest darkness, I start to track the park behind the maintenance shack, dig up and snatch a carcass and drag them back to the lair. You know what happens there, surgical staples and dry blood stained mattress tears, replacing fingers with claws, stuffing faces with stars and implanting flesh-eating jars bigger than that of bears. That means my army of zombies is on its way to you all, to unleash an assault for the likes of which you can't prepare. Contraire, let me chasing you as you run scared. Hop in your closet, light a match in this one there. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Welcome to the greatest asylum. Welcome to the greatest show. Welcome to the coldest, darkest hole. Watch the dancing Joker cry. Watch the teardrops on his eyes dry for all eternity. And welcome to the one genuine article surrounded by a crock of facades. So with the final bow, y'all don't even gotta applaud, cause I can give a damn about claps. I get those by pushing people into empty pools full of cocked mouse traps. All along I've been waiting and waiting, the violence and wrath that my chains were negating, dreaming of times and dreaming of places when I can set you up and scream in your faces. Scream in your faces. Scream in your faces.
Once upon a time, what a fool thought he'd find purpose in this life along the way. Don't you run and hide from the truth you desire. Everything that lives is worn away. Once upon a time, what a fool thought he'd find purpose in this life along the way. Once upon a time, what a fool thought he'd find purpose in this life along the way. Don't you run and hide from the truth you desire. Everything that lives is born away. Once upon a time, what a fool thought he'd find. Ooh. Once upon a time, what a fool thought he'd find purpose in this life along the way. Don't you run and hide from the truth you desire. Everything that lives is worn away.
You sound like a bitch.
I was muted the whole time. I'm fucking stupid. Sorry. What's good, everybody? How is it? How are ya? How are ya? How are ya? I said I'm gonna do a live on Thursday, and here I am. I don't really have a specific topic per se. Well, I do, and I kind of don't. Loading. How are y'all doing today? I wanted to talk about specifically whether or not staying in touch with it. And I understand this is a varied topic. I personally don't think it's quote unquote controversial, right? But I have a slightly skewed opinion on it, right? I think if you're gonna now, if you're single, right, what you do is what you choose to do. That's your business, right? And if the ex's new lover is cool with it, then, party at your own discretion, right? But shout out to the lady in the light top. Appreciate you shooting through. If the ex's new lover is cool with you staying in contact with her, right, or him, then obviously there's no problem there. But right, me personally, I personally take it as a form of, like, I guess, disrespect, because I feel you're essentially third wheeling me into something that I not only did I not sign up for, but I don't deserve. And if you're gonna be too involved with your ex to move on with me, then I think I'm wasting my time, right? Turn this off. Oops. There we go. I would like to ask anybody out there, if y'all want the link, I'll shoot it to you. But y'all let me know whether or not it's a weird take on something, right? It's mind you, this is a small uploaded. I didn't edit it. Well. Anyway, here's the clip, and I'll get back to you back in a second. Side note, this is a skit, right? It's not real, but what it's talking about is why I wanted to talk about primarily overall. I'll see y'all in a sec.
Block all of his accounts.
He literally just posts pictures of his dog.
I don't care, block him. I know his intentions he has with you.
He's like
you don't understand how guys' brains work. And he's not just a friend, he likes you.
No, he doesn't.
And you don't need to explain it to him. You don't need to open up the door for conversations.
His accounts, like, you don't have to block his Finsta. He never even checks that one.
I don't care, block it. He shouldn't
He's gonna
be contacting
know this is
me.
because of you.
I don't care.
Because he knows I wouldn't do this. He's gonna think you took my phone and did this.
Block him.
I'm just looking at his page, like, list.
I know how guys' brains work.
I'm just looking at his page.
I love you.
Love you too.
I'm doing this for us.
Okay.
Oh shit, bro. I know how the optics look like and how it sounds, right? But I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. Given the hypothetical and how I operate and choose to move, right? I don't think the boyfriend would be in the wrong with that, or the girlfriend if she told the man to do it, or whatever, right? Some have said that that's controlling, that's too possessive, that's too. I don't know what the word is anymore. There's like 100 different words for all of it. Oh shit! What's good, Ducky? What's up? How you doing? I don't think the man's in the wrong with that. Oh shit! I'm about to say. I just sent the link out. I don't think the man's in the wrong with that. I mean, let me ask y'all this. How do I word this in a way that comes across as because I'm being genuine, right? I know how it sounds to be like, you're red pill, you're this, I'm not trying to sound like that. I'm really just being, I don't know what the word is nowadays, but I'm just being honest. Honestly, how that's how I feel. Wouldn't it be better if she had already done the contact? Blanco, what's good, bro? Appreciate your sliding through, G. Wouldn't it be better if she had already discontinued contact with them if she were to move on with somebody new? Like, isn't it a little much to have to tell her to? Maybe I'm an asshole, and I'm not trying to sound like it, but this is pretty much the main topic that I wanted to get across too. But there's another one after this too, and I think people will be surprised as to where I fall on that. And I don't know if I talked about it already, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway. It was about the body count conversation, right? On whether or not that something like that is important. Somebody else had it on there. I don't know, remember whose live stream it was. Ooh, it was the Ladies of I Talk, ironically. Yeah. They were talking about, I don't know if that was the topic specifically, but it chimed in. And I was talking about, I didn't join the panel, I was in the comment section, and they said the body count thing isn't as of a importance as much people would like to make it think, right? Because I said, and I talked about, or not me, somebody else. Shout out to Nuclear Cardio. That's where his takes on these types of things are very, mature and concise and very accurate on how it's really a very sensible view how to look at it. Anywho. I don't think the body count thing is as big as of a thing as people are making it out to be, because on the back end, you have to understand that there's context, right? And each circumstance is not equal to the next one. Every single one is different. Now, I said when I was in the comment section, and to the people that were on the panel, I said, overall, the body count thing doesn't really matter. Why? Because there's a difference between if you're going to be one of those types who are just going to smash and dash, or if you're going to want a full-on relationship. And then I added the other caveat, and I'm not talking just about women either. I'm talking about, overall, universally. It's not really going to matter, because whether or not you're told, whatever number you're given, regardless of how you feel about them, you'll never ever really know specifically if they're ever telling the truth. I'm not calling them liars in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm specifically just saying that you can hope, right? You can hope for the best that you got told the truth, right? But overall, you weren't ever there for any of it, so you'll never really know. And then, if you're not gonna stick around, you're not gonna meet the parents, you're not gonna solidify a relationship, and then ask her for her hand in marriage and then marry her and all that. If you're just gonna smash, then a lot of those relationship type questions really don't need to come into play at all, because you're pretty much wasting both of your time. Now that's just how I just view it. And maybe, and I understand there's a lot of other folks who say that it's different, right? I was called crazy for this for some weird reason. I don't understand why. I don't see where the craziness comes in, but to each their own. You know what I mean? It doesn't really make that big of a sense to me personally, right? Because if we're just talking, or if we're just gonna be a 3 a.m. phone call, and mind you, also there have been relationships that have started off as just sex, as just that, right? And one of them or both of them ended up catching something in the middle of it, and it just sprung off from there, right? Life is unpredictable. It's very sporadic and spontaneous. Can't really plan or count for things. You can hope for the best, but that's try to plan, but things just happen, right? That's facts. That's facts, Blanco. If it's a hidden split, it shouldn't matter to much in detail. Yeah, facts. That's what I'm saying. But also, before I fully on digress about my point, is it wrong to make your ex break contact make your lover break contact with their ex? I apologize for the miswording. My mind goes at 100 miles an hour, and I gotta catch up with this sometimes. Me personally, I don't think it's wrong. I think having to tell her to, right? Especially with given how much time you've already spent with each other. You could be chilling with each other, and then out of nowhere, and spend a certain amount of time, and then you go bathroom, and she's texting to the ex, and it's like the notion of being in that situation is like, again, maybe I'm being a big baby bitch about it. Whatever, I don't care. I'll be honest with you. I'd be offended. I really would. For the specific reason of, here I am thinking, right, assuming that there's a potential future in this, and I feel like adding a X into the picture provides an unnecessary speed bump in a street where people already drive safely, right? And I'm not, living in a Disney World fantasy about this. I'm not necessarily saying that a relationship is supposed to be perfect the whole way through, right? I understand bumps happen, but I'm not necessarily gonna say that going through something that doesn't need to happen is a good thing either. Let me check the comment section real quick. I'm not even looking at the chat. Y'all are typing in. God damn, I'm sorry. I used to care because it made the other person look unsuitable for a relationship long term. That's facts. Facts, Lucky. That's real as hell. You're a real one. You're a real. Oops, sorry. She don't like me. That's facts. That's real as hell. That's real as hell. Yep, fact. It's real. It is. I was raised to be reciprocal. Right? You get what you give. And you give what you get. I'm in a fucked up way. I know this is stupid to say, right? Publicly too. But in a fucked up way, I'm like Charlie Sheen. And I understand there's a fucked up aura around his name, but let me explain as to why. I'm one of those, I'm in 100% in, right? I ride it till the fucking wheels fall off. I'm loyal. I'm possibly loyal to a detriment. Why specifically I'm like that? I wasn't taught to be like that per se, but I essentially just took it to the next gear. I don't know why I'm like that. That's just when I'm riding with you, I'm there, right? Like if I have to defend you from your brother or your dad or like right from your own family, I'm there. I'm that type. And I personally would be hurt by the fact that here I am putting all this in and you're like 30-40% with it. It essentially becomes, instead of a trip, it becomes like I'm carrying a boulder on my back eventually. This is an open panel. If y'all would like to come up, let me shoot it to you. Bada boom. Put it real quick. I gotta, because I'm on the phone, so I gotta, my ghetto ass. Let me pin the link. Mic test, 1, 2. Can y'all hear me? That's real. That's facts. Yep. Because the bump on the road more or less can be paved out, right? Toxic is like next level, just purposely trying to fucking take me off course. I understand some dudes might like that. I'm not faulting them. I'm not here to talk shit or judge nobody, right? I'm not really. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of fucked up too, because then you have to sit back and think, all right, I'm in this with you, and for some odd reason you don't want to work with me. If I have to do something, maybe talk to you more. I'm not talking about like, beating her or some crazy shit like that, right? I'm talking about like, do you have to do something that's extra, that's more to get her on board? right? Do you have to talk more? Is there something that you haven't ironed out yet? Is he or she the type that's, you know, you got to read a mind and just expect to fucking know? I hate people like that, bro. I really do. That's not even within a relationship talk. That's just like overall. Like, fuck, bro, you're an adult. You should. If there's something I'm missing, you know, you have a brain. The left side, the right side, the front, the back, whatever. Hell yeah. I'm petty as fuck, but also I protect my sanity. Once we're done, we're done. If I let someone back in, whatever the capacity, I feel weak and refuse to be with. Yeah, that's real. That's real. Come on, phone, what you doing? Cool. Yeah. Eventually, after a while, you have to tell yourself, okay, especially when you're in the type of relationship where you said to each other, all right, here's the goal. Here's what we need to do, A through Z. And you realize, mind you, I'm not talking about the man's point of view or the woman's. I'm just talking about overall in general. In general, oh my God. That too, fuck it. As a human, we romanticize our relationships and people expect me to know what we want, even when we don't. Not as a grown woman. That's real. I respect that, bro. I do. But yeah, I have more to talk about than I thought. That's crazy. Oh shit. Alright, cool. Hold on to the stage real quick. Let me play it. Let me see. Where it is. What's good, brother? Yo. Okay, while
Yo,
he's getting that settled. What's good?
Yo, can you hear me now? Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured you were getting something settled.
Yeah, man. But yeah, you cooking, man. It's a great conversation, great topic, man.
I appreciate it, brother.
Like I said, the shit with in toxic relationships is that we kind of get hooked to it, like it's kind of like it becomes like something we learn how to deal with. It's a weird thing, right? And we kind of like get caught into it where it's like we want to keep striving for those great moments or the good moments, even though let me say great, those good moments, right? Because you mostly have a lot of bad moments when you're in a toxic relationship. Yeah, but it's the good moments that you kind of cherish the most, and you kind of fall into a state of pity for the person you're with. You know what I mean? It's fucked up. Shoot my language.
Yeah, it's true. No, it's all good. You can rock here. No worries. I don't got shit to worry about. I'm not monetized, so yeah, I got that freedom.
Well, you sound like a well-rounded person. I never heard you really speak as much, and you sound very eloquent. You're using the right choice of words. So I could tell what you're saying is something you really, when people say what they mean, I could catch it.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. What up, Antonio? How you doing? A therapy? Nah, G. Go ahead.
The thing is that these days is not the same as like how old are you around? You don't got to tell me exact age, but let's say 40s.
I'm 34. I'm 34.
Okay. Well, yeah. See, and I can't take nothing away from a 34-year-old man right now because you grew up in the light of everything being at the speed of light for you, right? You can ask a question. You got into the times where you can ask a question that was there. You know what I mean? Like and I only say that because like I was raised in a place where you can never be in two places at the same time. And then now you look at where we are now, you can be in multiple places at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we kind of had our mind and our thoughts kind of restricted, right? We had boundaries, if you want to say, you know. And now in this new day and age, it's a lot of free thinkers. You know what I mean? They're not held back by misinformation or disinformation because it's at the palm of their hands now. You know.
Yep.
But
nowadays, it's hard to catch up because you have to think like whether or not if someone you're talking to is whether either they're with you or they're just in the relationship to follow some type of trend that they saw on a video or something.
Hidden agenda. Yes.
Yep.
And
you have to worry about. And ulterior motives has always been a thing, right? Yep. Like regardless of the situation. But now I think nowadays because everything is in front of a camera, it's more prevalent now. And a lot of people are like, okay, now that it's in front of us now people are saying, well, a lot of people have a lot to say now because everything's in front of them now. Nobody can see anything back then, 100%. But now everything's in front of a camera nowadays. Like even somebody walking in the hallway of their house is, them recorded, and it's like that'll get views too.
Yeah. It's the addiction to sensation, that's the new era we're in the attention economy.
Yep.
And it's so sad, but it's so true that people would do the most compromising thing, the most immoral, unethical things just to get a cut, like 5-6 views, maybe if it goes to 5,000. Whether it's 500 or 5 views, it doesn't really matter, right? Because there's no telling how many you're gonna really get. But the act that you did to get those views is what we're talking about, right? And some people stoop real low, and it's just the attention or the earning of just being heard or seen. You know what I mean? Which is like, we grew up in our days. I'm pretty sure you're not that far from me. You're a couple years younger than me, not that far. But we grew up where we didn't take pictures of what we were doing and stuff that we did.
Exactly.
It wasn't allowed. It wasn't like a thing. And they kind of reversed the mindset now to where they got these people in a state where it's almost like you give up your privacy for your. How was it? They say you give up your liberties for your privacy. I think what was it?
Yeah.
Is it that? It's somewhere you give away your freedom, for protection, basically. Like you're giving away more of your rights and stuff. And it's kind of like how we are now. Like these kids right now, they don't give a fuck. They're going to say, they'll say the most outlandish shit. They'll go tell on their brother who just did something, like, and it don't faze them. Back then, I wasn't there. I wouldn't take a picture of me holding money in my hand or no shit like that. Like it was the whole different, even girls, like, you might have a couple snapshots here and there, but unless you was with a girl, like committed, we didn't have pictures of mad females, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It sent the wrong message.
Exactly.
You would be chilling with a girl and your mom or your grandma, oh, that girl's pretty, that girl's this or that.
Exactly.
And you're just like, she was just a smash, and you don't know how to have that conversation.
That's why you couldn't bring girls home. You're right. You couldn't bring girls home back then. You're right.
Because back then, you would be looked at as weird if you took too many pictures, regardless of what it was. You're like, bro, you were there, right? We can talk about it. We know you were there.
That's so true. He said you was there, bro. Why you taking all these? Why you took 30 pictures?
You go to Costco and you get the film produced, and it's like, yo, this is 5 pictures of the same thing.
That's fucking hilarious. I used to go to Costco's, damn, getting the film. When you get the film done, you gotta wait like a couple weeks sitting there, like, damn.
Yeah, my grandma used to do that a lot.
Well, that's what it is. We live in a time of instant gratification, and everybody wants instant gratification, man. We got patience because we had to wait, right? That's I kind of guess that's the difference from us and the new age. We had to literally sit there and go through encyclopedias, and you know what I mean. It took us probably 2-3 days to get the word what happened in the neighborhood from what was going on, and now it's just like, you know what I mean.
You have to wait a few days to talk to the right people.
Yeah. Now it's on Facebook before you even want. Yeah, it's on Facebook before you want to even see it.
Exactly. Because back then you'd be made fun of if you take too many cameras with you or pictures. Because it felt like you were like you were going to court. Like, boy, that's just too much evidence of what was there.
Exactly.
Now you're considered weird if you don't take the picture. And it's like, bro, I just want to chill. I just want to. I just want to look at it.
You see people get into car accidents. You see people get into fights, and the first thing, instead of people helping them, they pull out their phone and put the camera right in their face while they're bleeding. You know what I mean? It's so different from when we're all desensitized. And I gotta say, me too, because I kind of fall victim because I get into my human physical form.
Yeah, it's easy to.
Yeah, it's the way of the world. So it's kind of like you're feeling like you don't fit in now. It's set up like that where if one real dude goes into a room of if one real dude goes into a room of 10 fake people, he becomes the fake person. You get it?
Yep. That one bad apple.
Right. Well, you just don't fit in, and the thing is, like, it's kind of like social media and YouTube, like, because you're in your heart, you know, you got principles and morals, but now you're trying to fit amongst people who are behind avatars. You know what I mean? They're not really themselves. They're cosplaying or they're catfishing, right? And then you're sitting here spilling your life, telling them how real you are and all the real shit you did, and all they're doing is mocking you because everything they ever told you was fake anyway. You know what I mean?
Yep. You have people crashing out online because they're doing a bunch of shit that goes against themselves, and they're just like, they'll have that sudden realization of like, what the fuck am I doing? Who am I? I don't even know anymore.
Yes.
And it's all just to maintain the views and shit. It's like, bro, if you were yourself 24/7, regardless of who the fuck told you could or can't be, you'll be happier and well off, far more better than you would with the quick likes and shit. Who?
You know who validates me now? My kids. And I mean that in the sense where, you know, if my son and my daughter's happy, I can go online and talk all the shit in the world. I don't give a fuck what I say. I tell you, I own 2 bridges in Brooklyn. If you want to buy them, you know what I mean? I got them for sale right now, half the price. I say all that, you know what I mean? As long as my kids is good, then I feel like I could do that, right? But if you're a person who got misery around you in your immediate circle, in your immediate family, then you shouldn't go and try to cause that same kind of trauma and misery, right? Because they say misery loves company, right? And you'll find that a lot. You'll find a lot of people these people are so advanced now that they don't just sit there and make you know they're miserable right away, right? They play along with you. You know, they'll cash app you. You know what I mean? They'll send you a letter, to DM you. Hey, listen, like, yo, great shit. I like your lives. You know, they'll act like your number one fan, but the number one fan is usually the one who can turn to hate. You know, like your haters always gonna be watching more than anybody, right or wrong.
That's facts. Yeah, facts. Hate watching is a big thing now.
Yeah, hate watching is big, bro. And it's just like they clip farming, you know, so they just want to see you slip. I noticed that about social media too. Like they want to just see a lot of this is like the Truman Show, you know, and they just want to see you living through your bad because it makes them feel better. You know, it makes them feel like they don't have to, you know, they're not a sack of shit doing nothing all day. When you're complaining about how, you know, your boss yelled at you or you might get fired because this happened, you know, like they just love. I call it dramedy. You know, it's dramedy.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Will? It's like even when they try to like insult you, it's in a way that they have to bring you down with them because they see you doing good, right? You don't even mind them, and you see that they're watching. You're just like, I don't care, let them watch. And it's just like, oh, you don't know how to this, you don't know how to that, you don't know what this is, you don't know what that is, you don't know how to right. And it's like, bro, you fucking met me 30 seconds ago online, and you're fucking assuming you were there my whole life.
Yeah, well, that's the crazy part, right? They meet you 10 minutes and they think they got it all figured out. You know, it's crazy.
Exactly. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I touched upon it earlier, was like the body count thing, because a lot of people called me crazy for my take on it. Lyrics, I guess a lot of people expect me to go like one way, like, nah, she has a high body count, she's a whore, right? And I'm not saying she is or isn't. I'm just saying, like, depending on the context of the situation, if you're there just to smash, I don't think anything really matters. If you're not going to talk to her after that, right? And she's not going to talk to you. So, but if you are the type that not to do that, and you want something, right? Whatever it is, even if it is just like getting with her and not getting married per se, right? I think the body count thing could play a role in in the right context, but overall, given that we do live, and I'm talking about in the more modern standard, right? Because everything's so quick and fast. I just want a quick endorphin, and it's like I'll go on by my day and find the next one. So I was really more or less talking about that. But I think depending on the situation, overall, given today's standards, the body count thing doesn't really matter. And I'm saying also, I'm not to be like, you know, rambling on, but I think overall, an adult, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I'm not telling you not to ask her or anything like that, but I think sometimes you might talk your way out of the pussy if you do bring it up. Man, I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I'll get on when you're done. I'll jump in when you're done.
No, I'm done.
But for the most part, yeah. I mean, so it's a double-edged sword, right? Because when you meet somebody,
I understand that too.
Yeah, it's because like me, right? For instance, like I wouldn't even try to get with somebody and then try to figure out, you want to know their past, but then when you're trying to build
Yeah.
a future, you don't want to get stuck in their past. You feel me?
Yeah,
And if
true.
there's people that it's all about the mind state, right? It's not the mindset. You know, it's the mind state, like where they're at and how they're gonna be. Like if that's them, and they can own up to their own shit and they have accountability, then you know what? Maybe the body count ain't such a big thing because everybody learns through their own ways. You know, and some people have to go through many different tribulations to even get halfway through life to where you at. You know what I mean? Some people get life a little more easier. You know, some people learn by other people telling them that the fire is hot, don't touch it, and some people got to get burnt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Very true.
But as an adult, you know, me being about almost 50 years old, I don't. It's about being a thespian now more. It's about the mind, you know. Like you gotta.
Yeah.
You wanna be in love with something that's thought provoking. You know, you want to have something that's gonna keep your mind, because it's all in the mind. Everything starts in the mind. Even dis-ease starts in the mind. You know, so you want someone who can help you get out of those kind of like dark thoughts, or you know, even just depression. Right? I say SAD, SAD is stress, anger, and depression. You know, and all those things is gonna keep you sad. You know what I mean? So anything that can help you get out of that, whether it's a fucking little dog that you call emotional support, or just a woman who has 100 bodies but she just loves you for you.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
Real.
You know, some people are like, yo, nah.
I rock with it. I rock with it. That's true.
Yeah. Because like I said, I could have been. You know, you got to see yourself in you know, opposites attract. You know, opposites do attract. It's weird. We live in a world where, you know, you might want something and totally think your whole life that's what you're going for, and then when you finally get what you, it's the total opposite of what you thought it would ever be.
Yep. The craziest relationships usually start off from the most unpredictable places.
I couldn't do it no more, guys. I couldn't leave my wife. I've been with my wife 21 years. I couldn't just go out there and be in the market again. And at my age, I feel
I feel that. I feel that.
I feel lost, bro. I feel like I feel creepy. Even you can't do it. It's just not the same, because these people all have, like you said, ulterior motive. You know, they're thinking like, you know, you paying for anything, whatever it might be, they're thinking, and that's just not the way we, you know, like that'll make a dude in my era, my club, we like, we'll shit on you faster. If you know what I mean, like what you think, you know?
Yep.
If you ain't just going with the vibes and you think you expected something, then that's not how we, you know. 80s babies don't play like that. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
I feel you. I think a lot of it depends on whether or not on your own character. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just talk to somebody and get a feel, right? Like how they are, and or just sit back and you chill with them and see how they treat others. Just like but the one thing you can always do, you can self-snitch, right? If whether or not you're observing her, but when you try to almost like interrupt her, or right, because then you're like, oh well, he's here pretty much not for me. He's pretty much just being a detective, and you're like, I don't know what happened. Well, you talked to me. You taking so much more when you're just like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Like when you shut up and like observe, you pretty much get the whole picture without her actually, you know, because words can tell you one thing and then actions like say another. Yeah, I know that sounds cliche as hell, but that's true though.
No, it's 100% true. You learn a lot more by the words they don't use. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. Of the dating pool right now, a lot of people are just like, a lot of people are posting videos, both men and women, like, I don't want to date no more. And the birth rates have been dropping. A lot of people, on the statistics level, a lot of people are not getting in relationships anymore that much anymore. Because they see everything
I
is
feel
just
that's
so...
by design, though. Like, if you ask me, you know, that's just me going back to my conspiracy shit, you know. There's a whole big thing for a long time on population control, you know, and it's not even like it's just made up or something I'm talking about. It's been on the Georgia Guidestones. You know, they've been talking about it for a long time, you know, to reduce the population.
Yeah, I know about all that.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like I said, through small psyops and through small little, I call them Hegelian dialects, right? That's what they call it. They call problem, reaction, solution, you know, and that's how the government, yes, I don't want to say the government, but that's just how the higher echelon works in position of power. Yeah. Because they have to move out and wean out the weak, right? Because, you know, we don't got time for the weak. And it sounds crazy, but we're only going to keep the weak that are dependent on us. You know, that's the game.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole reason for the whole government programs.
Right. Just basically, so subsidized housing, welfare. All that shit just keeps us in a loop where we don't get nowhere. You know, we feel like we're running, but we're just on a treadmill, you know?
That's crazy because they'll even have, once they see that you're getting away from them, and less and less people are becoming more.
They make it harder for you, bro.
self-sufficient.
They make it harder for you. Now you know. Now you got to
A
put
big
more
ass
out there to
event
get
happens.
dependent. It's get independent. You got to put more out. You know.
Yep. Once they see that you become self-sufficient, something will happen, and they'll trick you back into, oh, we actually need you guys now. We actually need you guys.
Well,
when
this
the
is a
whole
great.
time you were like,
yeah. I was watching a thing earlier. My fault. I was just real quick. That's my son in the background too. So you know he's autistic.
No worries.
He's stimming. So he's getting the shit off. But I was gonna say earlier. I heard a guy say that. He said, you know, imagine, you know, you got these people 25, 30 years, even 2-3 generations staying in projects. You know, they got Section 8. They're getting food stamps. You know what I mean? They're paying probably $15 for rent every month. And after all these times, you tell them, yo, you know what? We got good news. They're cutting all these programs, and now you can start working on your own and getting a job. Do you know how many people will go crazy?
yeah.
Do you know how many people will be like, no, hell no, I don't want to. Yeah. They're loving life like this. Yeah, it is. It's a drug, you're right. They're so comfortable. The word comfortable is a double-edged sword. It's so scary because it leaves you stagnant, you know, and you never get to reach your pinnacle.
There's just a neuroscientist, and he was talking about on somebody's podcast, but when you do stuff that you hate and you don't like, it's better for your body because it's much like working out. You know how when you work out, you tear muscles to make new ones and get bigger ones. With the brain, it's pretty much the same thing. When you do things that piss you off and stress on, you don't want to do it. It constantly grows the brain. If you plateau mentally, you're just the rest of everything else, because the mind is the first that controls everything, and the rest follow. And when you plateau,
that's why I put that comment.
Everything
my mind
else,
ain't mine.
That's facts.
Yeah, you're 100% right, especially doing the things that you don't feel comfortable doing, because that's what the truth is. The truth is just uncomfortable. The truth is meant to make you uncomfortable. They say the truth is cold. You know, that's why comedy is such a good thing in these day and ages, because it's the truth in a humorous form, right? But no matter what, at the end of the day, it's still that harsh truth in that little pill. You know, it just got a little bit of sugar into it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Even sugar in and of itself is a drug too.
Everything's a drug. Anything without moderation is a drug, right?
Too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Hell yeah, that's the world we live in, man. It's so scary. That's crazy, because to say that even too much love, you know what I mean? Too much caring is a bad thing then, you know what I'm saying, in that sense.
Then the person who's getting cared for eventually becomes dependent on it.
Yeah, well, that exactly.
Eventually, and then eventually demand it out of you. And it's like, the fuck? Bro, I have my own shit to handle.
You know what I noticed too? Stockholm syndrome, you know, in so many different facets. You know, people get so used to the treatment, you know what I mean, that they almost feel like, you know what I mean, that it's their fault that they're being treated like that, you know what I mean? They feel like they're bringing that out of you towards them, so they take the blame for it. It's weird, you know? That's all with the narcissistic relationships, you know, toxic relationships. They all start like that, you know? And
then the biggest thing about it is like, eventually they feel entitled to it. It's like, you're supposed to this, and the government's supposed to this, and the government's supposed to that, but it's just there to maintain shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's not really nothing in no bill or law that said that they were supposed to take care of us. We were never supposed to be on the programs. We're supposed to be self-sufficient the entire time,
100%.
But eventually,
that's why I say it all falls into conditioning, right? Because you know they knocked off the bartering system, and now they got taxation without representation. You know, and they got hey, don't do that. Sit down. Don't knock down the water pump. But they got taxation without representation. They got us in here, you know what I mean? Misdiagnosing us, undiagnosing us, you know, charging you way a lot of money for medication that you probably don't really need, you know what I mean? Instead of going holistic, you know, so this whole thing is set up in a way and it's designed to where it's all about generating the most money you can out of mankind or civilization, you know? Like we have to be ant farm, you know, we have to work to the day we die. And the only three things that well, there's a couple of but this is one thing I learned in business is that if you can base anything and everything off of eat, shit, and sleep, you will always make money. And death, you know what I mean? Because that's something, those four things is something we all have to do no matter what. Yeah. No matter what. There's no human that doesn't do those four things, you know, eat, shit, sleep, you know, and die. Yep.
They do it based off the certain, what's the word? Certainties in life, like death, taxes, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, the thing
And
is,
then
after you get,
oh.
after sorry, my last one. After you get a certain point, right? Once you have kids, they use the kids against you. You know, once you have your kids are not legally yours. You know that they become wards of the state. You know that, right? And it
You gotta
sucks
go
because
through
as
hell.
fast as a teacher says that they don't feel they're comfortable with your kid, with you alone in your house, it becomes an issue now. And the government and the system can get involved and have you trying to fight for your kids. You know, to get back rights. It's a crazy world we live in, bro. Crazy, but people don't even understand that. You know, the moment you put the sole of your baby's feet on that paper, on that birth certificate, that's metaphorically saying you're selling their soul. You know what I mean? Like the sole of their feet, and you stamping that paper. That's their signature for them to go on with the straw man. You know about the Social Security straw man. Okay, yeah. And that's how we all fall victim to this shit. You know, we all get once you're in America, it's the best place and the worst place at the same time.
True. That's what the birth certificate was created for in 1903.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Scary, man. Tough times. Those people with those kind of mindsets to create those things and have it understand that it only benefits their agenda as long as it goes, and the further it goes, Jesus Christ. These people, it's just like the construct of religion, right? If you think about it, right? If the religion wasn't real, just think about it hypothetically. And I'm not a Bible thumper, but I believe in the Most High. Like without a doubt, I believe there's the Most High, but I just don't believe too much of the stories and the parables. And I do get involved with, sometimes here and there, but I believe in God. I don't believe in Jesus, right? If that makes sense. And I mean it respectfully, And when I say that, because they got this thing called marketing the Messiah, right? If you know who Julius Caesar was, right? Julius Caesar, JC, Jesus Christ, Julius Caesar. Augustus Caesar was named the Messiah before, he was anointed as the Messiah at one point. There's so much shit where they marketed Jesus, what the Romans did, you know what I mean? After they took it from the Jewish people, which would be like Josephus, Flavius, I think it was his name. It's tricky with that shit. But I just mean to say, like, those people who created that system, look how far it is right now, and imagine how many people died under that sword. You know what I mean? How many different lives and civilizations was conquered and raped and pillaged under that flag or that sword. This either you convert or we have to do this for years.
Well, the Jesus thing isn't Jewish; he's Aramaic. And
but what I'm saying is that the
they're
Jewish people gave us Jesus. They say Jewish is Jesus. He speaks Aramaic, but he's from Judea. You know what I mean?
That's not true.
Listen, Gas. I'm not doing this with you.
It's opposite,
you my nigga.
Bro.
I'm not doing this.
Read the Talmud, bro. They believe.
I know the first five. Listen. First of all, the Old Testament and the New Testament are two different gods. The first five of the books of the Bible is crazy. Like I can't see the world being made, everything being done in 6,000 years. I'm sorry to tell you that. Just that alone bothers me. The fact that we have to pray to our Father is so biased that I don't even want to get involved with that conversation, right? Like just that alone bothers me, you know what I mean? The fact that Adam was created from dirt, but Jesus had to use a virgin to create Mary. I had to use a Mary Magdalene to create Jesus, when he could have just made him. Like, see, I know there's a great story and I know there's an answer for all of these things because I've been down a rabbit hole and I even researched both sides. But there's just things that I read that question, nah, man, there's a lot to it that people ain't telling. Like Jesus, what happened to all the people who died before Jesus? Jesus probably was the 3rd century. If I'm not mistaken, the Jesus story came out about 3rd. What happened to all the people before that? You know what I mean? Do they get? And I know what happens. They go to Abraham's bosom. This is what the Christians are gonna tell you, right? The Bible. And I can understand it, but what I'm saying is that they don't know about Abrahamic faiths. They don't know about Christianity or Christ consciousness. They don't understand it. So how are they even able to? You know what I mean? That bothers me because their mind is not even aware of these things that we're talking about now in these days. But yet these people are putting them into a place which is called purgatory, It's a lot of shit with the book. But I don't want to get into that. You have a great conversation going with relationships and all that. I don't want to throw you off. You ain't going to get me down that rabbit hole.
Christ is king. That's all I know.
Hey, listen, respectfully, I'm not mad at you, brother. Listen, if I said that for my arm would slap the shit out of me. You see me? But I just got to tell you, I know I leave space to be corrected. You know that? Because I do feel bad. Like I said, I don't want to be the only one not getting the Jesus bus because I didn't take I don't got my bus pass. You know what I mean? But no disrespect to your religion or to your beliefs, man. I'm saying
not
how
trying
I
to
feel.
convert you.
No. I know. You can't. I'm just saying, I've been around so many different conversations and I've seen more about, a lot of people not really be able to get, when you argue against somebody like with a Christian, they go to the book and then the book is like, it can be left to him, Jesus, God works in mysterious ways. That's the best one. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
But no. Hey, listen, Gas, you're still my boy, man. Like I said, if you was hanging off a cliff and you need my help, I'm gonna grab you and I'm gonna try my hardest to get you off of that bitch. You know what I mean? With or without Jesus or God, you know what I'm saying? Like as a human, you know what I mean? What do you want to watch, Papa? SpongeBob? You want to watch Plankton?
Oh shit.
Okay.
What's up, Zelly? How you doing?
Salute. But yeah, don't let that be a thing to change or deter you from speaking to me, man. Because you might be the person I have to meet to understand what Jesus is really about. And I always feel like that. There's somebody who's gonna be able to shut my ass up and be like, listen, shut up, man. Just listen to what I gotta tell you. And to this day I've not found one, or I might just be too arrogant. You know what I mean? And that's bad. But I really need like someone who's gonna be strong and stern. That's why I look for people who say what they mean and mean what they say, because then I could have a better conversation and understanding. They articulate themselves well. Cisco, come here on YouTube.
Okay.
SpongeBob YouTube 2020.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, man, my fault, Brody. My fault.
Nah, but what we're saying though is that it started off somewhere, then just but never. I wasn't hoping to talk about the whole topic, the whole way.
I know. But I get like that. I get like that. You know what it is? That's a big thing on YouTube. You know what I mean? People judge you right off the rip when you say that type of stuff. And I'm not. I'm still a good-hearted dude. Like you know what I mean? I still feel like I live my life the same way as people who do believe in it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when they tell you how to. What happened?
That's your choice. You know what I mean? That's the choice. You can't.
But it's true that I can't make it. I can't make it to heaven without Jesus in my life. Right or wrong?
That's right.
So then, what happens to all those people before Jesus? That's what I meant.
They were pagans, so
that's not. You can't say that about all of them. They were not all pagans. I know what pagans are too. If you want to be technical, in a weird way, right? Pagans was bringing in. They were like the Moors, They were bringing in. Like if you showed me how to if you made water run out of my ceiling and or irrigation, and that's kind of like magic back in those days. So like a Visigoth, who's who don't shower and they take they shit in the middle of town. What do you want, Papa? Like what about square pants? Give me a second, I'll find it. But you know what I mean? Like those things would be like if you made electricity pop up in my house that's been dark and I've been using candles for the last 40 years. That's magic, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like a pagan type of thing. But you mean by the worshiping type thing, right? Like the way they worship.
I was talking on mute this whole time. I'm an idiot. I had a phone call and it muted me. But I was saying though, the Moors aren't really reliable people. Their history has said that they've been kicked out of everywhere they lived on, just like the Jews.
Okay, there you go. All right, I respect it. Like I said, I'm neither nor. I just know that, you know what I mean? I heard the stories, and I kind of got into it, and then I just seen loopholes, and I was like, nah, hold on. But yeah.
Now I feel what you're saying, though. You're more or less not a freak. There's another word for it.
I don't want to say Gnostic. You know what I mean? I don't want to say Gnostic because a Gnostic is like an atheist without balls. No,
it starts with the A. Adventurous.
I wish I knew because you would put me on. I just usually tell people I'm free spirited.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh shit, my bad. I don't know what the hell's going on with my damn Wi-Fi. Anywho, it starts with the A. Adventurous fucking something. I'll look it up after and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know.
I'll be honest, I never know which way my lives are gonna go. Before I hit the go live button, I'm like, man, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
Just do it. It's like the field of dreams. If you build it, they'll come.
The days that I get the live a week on a Thursday, and I'm cool. Because that was consistent, and then I just stopped. I just felt like I just feel like the want to do it just stopped, and I don't want to force myself to do it and just say bullshit.
It'll come to you though. The reason why, you know what I mean? Like you got to have a good topic. Like you don't want to do it and just be one of these people that are doing it for no reason. You need to have a purpose. Like Like
yeah,
a lot of
that's
people
exactly
on here.
why I stopped for a while.
Yeah,
I had
people on
like a
here they
mind
don't
block.
care.
You know how when you get an artist, when you're an artist and you just get like a mind
Writer's
block or
block.
whatever the
Oh
hell.
yeah, writer's block or
Yeah.
beat block. Yep.
Yeah. So I got that live stream block or whatever you want to call it for a while. So I was like, if I don't have shit to say, I'm not gonna go on hit live and just fucking say nothing and just hope for the comments to come.
Yep. Yep.
I marinated on my topics for a while because I ask around too. I'll talk to people and I'll gather data and shit. I'm like, all right, I have enough. I can go off on this and I'll go live and I'll talk about it. I think me doing one live a week, honestly, on a Thursday is enough for me. It helps me gather data while I'm off.
It's also therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true. Gather data helps you with your points, you know, and you always want an objective perspective. You know, you don't want to just make everybody be an echo chamber and then you never, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want opinions
That's
to
one
be
thing
very.
I'm trying to make sure I never have either is an echo chamber. Because I don't want somebody just constantly telling me, yeah. Because then I'm just going to feel like I'm going to look at them sideways. It's like, bro, is everything I'm saying right? Because, yeah.
Well,
eventually I'm just going to get annoyed with it.
those people are they could be detrimental to you, right? Or they have a hidden agenda, right? They want to rock you to sleep, is what we would say. You know, they just want to yes you to death. They're like yes men. So that way, when you least expect it, you know what I mean, they can, you know, whatever they might have in mind. But yeah, you don't want people like that around you because it's like stagnant water. You know, it doesn't help you.
Yeah. You create damage better off pressure than you do.
Yeah. And like a battery, you know, it's just like car batteries. You know, you need a positive and negative. You know, the car it ain't gonna just go with two positive. You need a positive and negative to start that bitch. You know what I mean? So it's good to get that, you know, negative, positive ion thing going on. And then it turns into something, you know what I mean? Like most conversations, especially if they're like positive, you'll feel like a good aura in it, you know what I mean? Like you'll feel like a godly vibe to it sometimes, you know, like whereas time, you know, when they say time flies when you're having fun, that type of shit, you know what I mean? Where if you're in a good conversation with somebody, you wouldn't even realize 2 hours passed by. You're like, shit, nigga, 2 hours passed? You know what I mean?
For real.
Yeah.
I follow a few big pages on here and it's like, they have a good topic to talk about every day. I'm like, damn, bro, that's crazy. Because they'll be on for like 6-7 hours.
You'd be surprised though. Like, they're taking it from another big YouTube page. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're getting their topics from other YouTube pages, and when they get offline, they'll go and sit in the chat and listen to somebody else's, you know, and in another bigger room, listen to the pros and cons of what they might use for their next, you know, topic, you know?
Yeah. True. A lot of things are more or less recycled.
But Gas, you got to get AI incorporated now, man. I'm telling you, Chat GPT, start using them large language models, man, because what makes it better is that now you can have your pros and cons for any debate, all debates. You can have statistics pulled up. You can have your own little diagrams. You know what I mean? With the AI now, it's a whole nother ball game for people trying to content create. And I only say that with like messengers, right? Because content creating, you could do documentaries, you could do music, beats. But when you're out here doing what you're doing right now, like talking, you got to make it make sense. Like you can't just ramble, you know? You can't be out here babbling. People don't want to hear that shit, you know what I mean? So you got to make it resonate, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. With all that being said, hit y'all with a quick commercial break. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom. And when I get back, I'm gonna talk about the rest of what I wanted to talk about. But if y'all, obviously there's no obligation or mandate, but if you would like to support the show, hit your boy up with a few dollars here and there. You can hit up the homies Cash App at I'm a fucking idiot. Wow, I'm dumb.
Drop it. Where's the link for the Cash App?
Yeah. Oh shit. Oops. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Hook your boy up with a coffee or two. Get y'all a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back.
Little old lady, it's the milkman. Come on, it's time to collect all that milk money. That's all I can do. I'll give you a half a point more. Yeah. All right. Hey, man, that's the point spread. You gotta be cool, bro.
All right. I honestly really do like just to take a breather real quick. But damn, we were cooking though, for real.
It's good you do that though. Because we all suffer from short attention span, and it's good to do that. You reset the neural networks. You know what I mean? People get back into their rhythm, and that's what I really meant by. I didn't mean to say per se Jesus, but the organized religion thing. It's probably a better way to word it. You know.
I feel you're talking. Now the thing is though, I was watching a documentary on this man named Friedrich Nietzsche, and he's a philosopher from Germany, and his take on a lot of things I resonated with. It's more or less just getting away from debates and just accepting people's point of views.
Yeah.
Because then at the end of the day, I'm not going to gain or lose anything on what you choose to believe, right?
Right.
So I'm like, overall, I was like, that makes a shit ton of sense. I mean, even like, in a way, I'm supposed to convert people, right? But I just don't, in me, and it sounds fucked up to say even as a Christian, but I just don't want to convert people, right? Yeah. What you choose to believe, that's completely 100% on you. I'm not going to force a lick of shit on you. Nothing. I'm just going to sit there and just chill and just, hey, how'd your day going? Right?
Right.
I'm not going to hold a sign and say you're going to hell because you're going into a strip club or whatever, right? Whatever. Nothing you do either helps or hurts me. I just accept people as they are. That's just pretty much my whole way. Innately, like I would say in my DNA, that's just who I am. I just don't feel like changing people, or if you would like to come to me about some shit, right? And mind you, I don't 110,000% know absolutely everything about everything. I'm not a fucking computer, right? But I'll do my best to help you, right? And maybe hook you over to a better source. But overall, I'm just like, I watched that documentary about him and I was like, yo, that's fucking real as hell though.
Yeah, I like
that.
Alan Watts. You ever heard of Alan Watts?
I think I have.
Alan Watts.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's good.
I was watching a documentary on him and Machiavelli and somebody else. Something had to do with Stoicism. I like stuff like that. I like stuff that makes me think and question things. Even me.
See, this is the thing. This is what I was going to say earlier too. There's a whole debate on flat Earth, and there's points and stuff that they bring up that'll be like, damn, that shit makes you believe it. You feel me? Like I've been down that rabbit hole where I almost was like, damn, this shit probably is flat, But these are the things that you got to be careful for, right? Because these people, what they're doing is, and I'm not saying they are, they could be right. I don't really care whether they're right or wrong. I'm just saying is that it shakes your foundation. You know what I mean? It breaks everything that you grew up learning and thinking that was what you feel was right and what you want to stick to. And what they're trying to do is, leave you out there lost, basically. You know what I mean? Like, if you're somebody who's gullible and you hear people talking about flat Earth and they start explaining you the measurements and how every 6 miles the Earth is supposed to have curvature and, the Earth is spinning at this speed, and if a helicopter goes straight up for an hour with the Earth spinning, why does it land in the same spot instead of landing somewhere else? You know what I mean? Like, those type of things will make you be like, that's true.
And the one thing too, though, is a lot of people don't know about this is weaponized consciousness. What I mean by that is, how you get in trouble for like being conscious, right? And the only reason why a lot of people try to put you onto shit because they just want to see you get in trouble for knowing it, right? Mm-hmm. Like say they put you onto something and it intrigues you, right? And like you try to put somebody else on about it, and like for some weird odd reason you get kicked off a TV show, a movie, or like whatever, right? Just whatever your avenue of media was right, and that was where you're getting your bread and butter and your money from. They'll put you onto it, and it's like they'll feed you crumbs about it, right? Just enough for you to go out and tell somebody else about it, and out of nowhere you see that you're deplatformed, your bank account get freezed up, you're right, just like you're in trouble, and you're just like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Why am I in trouble about this? I didn't know. I thought I was just like talking some simple shit, and then
that's the problem with the oversaturation of information. That's the age we're in, right? We're the age of Aquarius, the water bearer. What happened was they manipulated it And they said, instead of trying to censor everything, let's just let the floodgates open and put lies into everything, misinformation and disinformation. So now you got people thinking they know the whole world on a 2-minute TikTok video, which is very bad. You know what I mean? Very bad, because there's no due diligence.
That was the thing that I noticed when, like, how do I seen it in I seen something personally happen. I was like, that's fucking crazy. I thought the guy who was, I guess, more or less controlled, I guess that's where the term, I guess, controlled opposition came from. Because you would think, like, you think they're putting people on the ship, but really they're there to just, they're being paid up by the people they're pretending to expose and shit, and they'll give you crumbs about things, and like now you're in trouble for knowing about it, and it's like, now they're laughing at you because, oh yeah, this guy thinks I put him on the shit, and the dumbass just got in trouble.
Do you believe in UFOs? Just real quick, do you believe in UFOs?
I used to, but not so much now.
All right. Well, that's just a question to start off the top of the conversation. The conversation is a movie called Mirage Man. Mirage Man, right? It's about Richard Doherty, who was a intelligence agent for the Navy or something, and they literally were doing that on purpose. They were giving this one dude who kind of figured out something or thought he figured out something, and what they do is they just manipulated his mind and made him go crazy. You know what I mean? And they started, and that's what happens once you go down these rabbit holes. People could manipulate you. You know what I mean? And if you start talking about something you don't know, and there's someone who's on that level, and they realize that you just freestyling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could make, you know, they could put you in a bad place. You know, make you know, they can mislead you. You know what I mean? Because now you talk about something that they know. Once they say something that resonates with you, you feel like, oh, this person's on my level. And right then and there, that's when the manipulation can start, you know?
Yep. That's more or less, you get compromised and then neutralized.
Exactly. Like Alex Jones, to me, he's a COINTELPRO. He's a shill. You know what I mean? At first, I don't know. But now, with the way the world is and everything, there's no way in the hell you could be just talking all that stuff he's been talking for years. You called out the, you know what I mean, the September joint that happened. I don't want to say it because that shit, the AI picks that up.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah, but you caught that and you said it before anybody, right? And I've heard many people say he was the first one to mention that. And it's like, dude, you still out here running around, you know what I mean? You're still able to have your own network, syndicate network, telling people about conspiracies, and these conspiracies are going against the government, you know what I mean?
And then you feel like the people have been killed for less, and yet here you are doing 15 times as much.
That's a fact. Killed for less, yes. Best way to put it.
People have been, sniped for opening the wrong envelope.
Yeah.
On accident.
Too much life going on. Everything's compartmentalized. My fault. Everything's compartmentalized from the micro to the macro. That's why, some people say, oh, I need to know the truth. The truth is so buried into so many different facets and squares, you know what I mean? Like by the time you even get close to it, you're going to get to a door that's going to lead to another door that's going to lead to another door. But none of these people have the full answer. They just got pieces.
Eventually, the weight of it's going to tell you.
Exactly.
Because if those people are as powerful as you say, then that means that you're going to have to, and for one of those journalists that want to do the digging, right? Those are brave people to do that, right? They're putting so much shit in the line to inform people about things, and it doesn't always go the way that they think it's going to go. Countless of them have been more or less took for doing their job, basically.
Yes, sir. Even it don't pay to be right all the time, you know what I mean? Or be good, Sometimes you just mind your business.
Or if you're gonna do that, right, just be secretive about it. Don't post a show about it or tell like 100 people. I would say personally to move. Don't, like they say, never let them know your next move.
Yeah.
That works for so many facets of life. Saying, so true, I'm gonna expose the Federal Galactic Area 57. Bro, why are you snitching on yourself?
Yeah.
I'm over here at 11:52. I'm gonna be at. Okay, buddy. That's like you're just asking to be taken.
Yeah, these people, and they don't even realize it because that's just the way of the world now. It's so normal now to just give up your location and you know, information, people asking you randomly. Like, I got neighbors that lived around for 20 years and don't even talk to as much. And there's people online that they know each other's socials and their family names and all that. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's rough. People get
Yo, Gas, I'm gonna drop down, man. I gotta take care of my son real quick and get ready. But
I appreciate you coming through, brother. Thank you.
You already know. Salute, bro.
There's still the door's always open, brother. That was the homie Frankie Blanco. On this much, it's crazy. I never know how the hell the live stream's gonna go and which way of a direction. I love it though. I wholeheartedly, I love it. I don't make a penny off this shit. The original topic got derailed by a whole bunch of other. This is random as fuck too, but if you're one of those people that likes to play video games, right? And you're just I have an account just to play games type people. Grand Theft Auto, if you have it, for 2 weeks, because they help promote the Grand Theft Auto 6. You don't need the PlayStation Plus membership to play online for the next 2 weeks. So you know, there's that too. Hey Evelyn, how you doing? Appreciate you stopping by. But yeah, I love the fact that I did this. I was chilling. I was like, should I go live? Should I not? Should I edit some stuff? Should I? A new intro I was gonna make, I accidentally deleted. I gotta start all over again. Fucking stupid, man. That's how I felt when I realized I deleted an edit that I was gonna make. Yeah, my crib's sorted, man. What's going on? I had everything perfectly in sync with the music. I had everything timed right, and I went to my library and I was like, did I stupid ass accidentally delete my edit? Lo and behold, I did. Mind you, I have a lot of edits for my intros, right? But I'm constantly on the move and the know-how of what my next one should look like. This is probably going to be my best one too, but I got to look for new clips now. I got to pick a different song and time it. It's an annoying thing. But yeah, nonetheless, that's just me rambling. How long have I been on for? Almost an hour and a half. That's crazy. Oh, man. All right. I think I'm going to close this out. In which case, like see not so. I'm gonna close it out here. I appreciate everybody stopping by and showing your voice some love. Even if it is just leaving one comment and just going, I appreciate you all equally. For real. I guess closing thoughts, I'm gonna say never let your husband or wife stop you from finding the love of your life. And I'm just kidding. But for real though, man, honestly today overall, I think the topic at hand was whether or not keeping in touch with exes is a good or beneficial thing to the relationship, and or the body count thing if it's really a a big thing, right? I didn't get this out because he was cooking. But mind you, also, I'm not saying that whether or not if. Let me get this out. I'm providing a big clarity to what I was talking about overall. I'm sort of, kind of, I guess, in a way, calling her a whore, right? But I'm saying overall that and there's no way to say this without sounding like an asshole, so I'm just gonna say it. I'm not saying to just randomly go and fucking raw dog a hooker and shit, right? I'm not saying to yeah, facts. So that I appreciate you, Ducky. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, but I was saying though, I wasn't necessarily saying like to just randomly blindly go into the relationship and accept, right, that she slept with the 300,000 people. I'm not saying to raw dog her and just accept her, but I was just simply saying, if neither of you are gonna take it further than just sleeping around, and really, you're more or less just talking yourself out of the what have you. I would say be smart about it, right? How you choose to move at the end of this, I'd say I'm just a guy. A dumb little goyim with a little dumb goyim brain, right? So, nonetheless, I guess I'll cap it off here. I'm just talking shit now. But that's what I really meant, though. Just I'm not saying to just randomly accept and go raw dog the relationship. I'm just saying move appropriately for the potential context that you'll see yourself in. That's all. That's it, and that's it. That's all I was talking about. But yeah, closing thoughts is just be smart about it. I guess don't dedicate yourself to internet talking points, even though I'm on the internet with a talking point, right? I'm just a stranger. Take my advice, don't. That's totally up to you. But if you're gonna eat the cat, you might as well shave it, right? Alright, I'm just talking shit now. I'm so horrible at closing out my own show, bro. It is ridiculous. Get laid, get rich, be happy, go with God, or don't. That's up to you. I just want the best for everybody. I really do. At the end of the day, when you choose to believe, don't believe, it literally makes me not, it doesn't hurt me, it doesn't help me, it doesn't semi-help or hurt, right? So, oh, there's that stupid money clip right there. Oh, I'm an idiot. I played the wrong one earlier. I played the one where, anywho, good night, God bless. And if there's anything y'all want to chat about or whatever, hit me up on IG. Y'all know where to find me. See y'all. Peace. Okay, where are you, bitch?
When I return,